Greetings, everyone. Happy New Year, vinyl enthusiasts. I know we're already into February, and I've been derelict in posting things here. I just actually I got a few people following me, and I'm surprised because I'm not a regular like a lot of you professionals who are always posting things they bought or personal collecting things. So I'm over on the Hoffman forums where I post a lot, and I'm over there under Mazzy, M-A-Z-Z-Y, and someone actually brought this topic up, that there's this whole YouTube group of vinyl enthusiasts. So it got me inspired to do another one. You've seen down in my record room, and next time maybe I'll go down there and do something. I like to do theme things rather than things I've just bought. But I'm up in my main living area where my main rig is. We'll get into that right now, but I thought I'd do one on cash grab box sets, and I use that term loosely and cynically because whenever I'm on these forums or I see people commenting on some of these YouTube videos where they say, oh, that's a cash grab that McCartney put in, he put 2 extra songs and you got to pay $300 or $400 for, or the Kinks, you know, put vinyl in a CD box, and I hate vinyl or I hate CDs, and why do I gotta pay that? Give me a fucking break, right? Anyway, because I'm running out of room down there, I actually keep my box sets up here, which to me is a good thing because box sets, a lot of people I find tend to not play a lot of the music in box sets because they gotta pull it off the shelf, open it up, you know, slip the record out, and it's easier just to grab a single LP and put it on the box. One moment. I thought I'd have a little music in the background. Hopefully it's soft enough so I don't get shut down by the copyright police. In fact, in the background, I have an improvisational, collective improvisation by Ornette Coleman. If you're into jazz, fantastic Rhino Box. Came out, I think, last year. And what's great about it, these are the stereo versions, so I know a lot of jazz freaks are into the mono, like the Coltrane box set they put out, which unfortunately is not complete because a lot of the original mono tapes were destroyed in a fire at Atlantic years ago. But this is a great, if you're into Ornette Coleman, into jazz, highly recommended. What's great about it, beautiful covers, tip back sleeves, tipped on sleeves, whatever you want to call it. But I love this stuff. Gorgeous packaging. I'm a big packaging freak, and I love the covers on these things. I won't show them all. I'm just going to kind of rush through a few of these box sets that I've gotten in the last year. But it's great, now that I keep box sets upstairs, I play them more. My stereo's right here. I have this little kind of bench, and underneath it are some of the box sets. So I'm just going to go through quickly a few of them that I've gotten recently I really like. This is one of King Crimson, the first 5 or 6 albums. That's my favorite period, the 2 with Greg Lake. And these are the Steven Wilson mixes. So again, I'm not going to explain what that's all about. You can do that. But it's the typical ones you all know. Chord of the Kings and King, Crimson King. I'm tripping with my lips again, but you get the idea. Great mixes, and I don't have a lot of these CDs of this. I'm not a vinyl snob to the point where I only buy CDs, but it has these, and it's just a great alternative. I like the originals. Even though I have a 5.1 setup here, I don't really play a lot of 5.5 music things. I usually limit that to when I'm watching movies. So, anyway, King Crimson, highly recommended. Cash grab. I should have I don't do post-production. Maybe when I get older, I'll get into edit and do those little can I put a little icon here thing that says cash grab that just explodes like Batman, pow, zap, whatever. One of my favorites from 2018, the Village Green Preservation Society. I need an intern to come and put this stuff away afterwards because I'm not going to do it while we're talking. It's got the Swedish album version, just kind of fun configuration. It's got it's got a lot of stuff. You know, it's got CDs, outtakes, demos, the choral version or the orchestrated version. But it's a beautiful set. Andrew Sandoval put it together. It's got some 45s of the period 45, which you can kind of see. Again, I'm not going to go through every little thing, but I just want to give you kind of a cash grab overview of box sets that people bitch about because there's CDs and vinyls in the same friggin' package. You can't handle it, can you? Anyway, one that I think every rock and roller should get, the Kinks Mono Box. Friggin' great. It's got all the albums up through Arthur. Arthur is the only one that I think is better in stereo, but all these other, the first few albums of theirs, mono is the way to go. But Kinks are my second favorite band, and it's something you all should have. Again, another package put together by Andrew Sandoval. Kind of mixing things up. I'm not going in any particular order, just grabbing a few things. I'm not going to go through everything, but Ray Charles on Atlantic, the Atlantic Years, another great set. I'm not going to pull it out, but I'm a big Ray Charles fan. You can see it's a mix of rock and jazz and country. What else do I got here? Oh my God, I wasn't going to get this because I have so many Rolling Stones. They put out last year the Atlantic record 71 to 2006. A lot of the Stones albums, the later ones, which I don't even care for. The Perfect Doorstop. I think the main reason I got this is Amazon every once in a while has these mispriced things, and when it first came out there was I think for 3 or 4 hours or a half a day, a mispriced thing, unless they do it to tease, to get people talking about it. They had this entire box set listed for $179, and it was retailed at, I think, $450. So I pre-ordered it, and then a lot of people thought maybe they wouldn't get that price, but I got it for $179, which was a great deal for this. And then it didn't include, as advertised, the downloads, which I really didn't care about, but I wrote a little thing to Amazon and they gave me another $25 rebate. So I got it for, what is that, $140, $150? And it's so massive, but it's one of those friggin' boxes. It's so hard to open. I don't know, I keep thinking I'm gonna trade it to someone or sell it. I'm not usually a flipper at all, but I have so many Stones albums, my original albums, and even my original albums of those later albums I hardly play. So it's a frivolous thing. Sometimes that happens. Okay, this I liked more than I even thought I would. This came out a few years back, 2 years back maybe. The Queen is Dead. I'm a big Smiths fan. I saw them once in the 80s when they played in Oakland, and it was a horrible show, and I loved them. Just was at the, I think Kaiser Auditorium in the East Bay in Oakland. Had terrible sound. I don't blame the band as much, but recently I saw Johnny Marr. I'm in Seattle now, and I saw him play, and he actually, his voice has gotten better, and his guitar playing, of course, is amazing, and I'm a big Johnny Marr guitar fan. So this is great. Has the original album, then it has some demo versions, and just beautiful packaging too. I'm a packaging freak, and I know that's superficial to some, but I like this has, instead of the green cover, has sort of an alternative black and white version, real graphic, and then some outtakes of the cover for the alternate records. I love this, Live in Boston show. You should know who that is. Write in the comments if you know who that is. Beat poet, writer extraordinaire, beat writer. Come on, you know who that is. I know who it is. Write it in the comments. First one wins. You don't win anything, but you win. Who is that? There you go, the Smiths. So, what else? Any more I can do? Obviously, there's the Beatle White Album box set, which I'm not going to get into. You've seen it. Oh, this is a total guilty pleasure. I'm a Deadhead, or I used to be. I kind of stopped seeing them. And I grew up in San Francisco, and I would see them at Winterlands. I think I first saw them in Golden Gate Park in 1969, early on, and I'm a big fan of Europe 72, and I started seeing them at Winterlands starting in 71, 72. Around 75, 76, I fell off the Deadhead boat for a while because I got into more punk things, and they got to be kind of frou-frou, but I did get this. Again, it's a big packaging thing, and since I'm in the Pacific Northwest, look at this thing. It's gorgeous. Tribal American tribal art. Beautiful thing. It's all CDs. It's the Pacific Northwest tour of 74, 75, 73, 74, 75, I believe, in Oregon, Vancouver, and Seattle. 73 and 74, excuse me. I should know this. But look at this thing. I just think, I love fine art packaging and design. And that's a big part of my collecting thing too. Special box sets. That was kind of cool about the CD era when they started doing these really cool. In fact, that would be a good one to do sometime, but that's not really vinyl. But maybe we'll do a little sub thing. But I love this. Gorgeous. Reasonable price for the design. I think it was like 160 bucks, which is not, you know, kiddie feed, but for what it is in design and the art and the music, obviously. That's great. Now it's worth $60. Sorry about that. What else? I don't know if I'm not going to show much else, I think. That's it. Cash Grab. This is a good one, but I love this. Johnny Cash, the Unearthed series. This is basically his American music records that he did, sort of his big comeback in the 90s. You all know these, right? Beautiful records. Plus it's got the old kind of 78 gatefold type collection. This is beautiful, beautiful music. It's all of them together on vinyl. Unfortunately, some of the pressings in this, there were some issues, a lot of crackling, and actually, where I bought it from, I think I bought this at Music Direct. It took them like 4 or 5 months to go through the label to have them send me some replacements, which were better, but again, not perfect. So be warned, the pressings aren't as good as they should be on the Unearthed box. The actual American recordings are great. You should get those LPs instead, probably. Unless you're a diehard fan, you probably don't need this one. But again, it's a gorgeous package. I love art books in these things, and again, I could go on and on and just have 10 hours of going through all the art in these books. But you get the gist of this too. So we covered Rolling Stones, Johnny Cash, Ornette Coleman, Ray Charles. I forgot the other last one I think I'm going to do for right now, even though I have a lot of other box sets. But the other cash grab that pissed people off was a limited edition Wings over Europe and Wings 71 to 73, which is, again, in this case, these are CDs, but I do have the LP versions of everything but the Europe. Wildlife is one of my favorite Paul McCartney records, and I know a lot of people like to dump on it, but I think it's one of the few McCartney albums that hasn't dated. I think it's actually got better, because a lot of his stuff later sounds really kind of dated, especially those 80s periods of things. I'm not a fan of Pipes and Peeps. Pipes and Peeps? Pipes? You don't even know what I'm talking about. But it's got Red Rose Speedway, Wings Over Europe, which is amazing. It's been booted for a long time, but it's that was a great band he had in 72 and 71 in Europe. Loved it. 72, whatever. I'm blanking on my time. You guys have much more knowledge of those exact dates, you record Maca Beatle nerds. I'm a collector. I love this stuff, but I don't know every fucking detail, so sue me. Anyway, that's it for now. Happy New Year. I'll try to do these more often, and I thank you again. Put comments, subscribe. I don't know why. If I have 10 or 20 subscribers, it'd be great. But I love watching all you guys. I love watching the other vinyl enthusiasts. And I watch a lot of guitar-based things, even though I'm a crappy guitar player, but I love that whole thing. And thanks again, and enjoy the music. Good night.